Aloha, everyone. I heard the other day that Sony Pictures has plans to go forward with a Spider-Man movie universe on their own without Marvel, despite the fact that they now have a deal with Marvel Studios to make their Spider-Man movies cooperatively and as part of the MCU, as part of Marvel Studios' Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Spider-Man is part of the MCU, but these Spider-Man spin-off movies that Sony is planning are not going to be part of the MCU. They're planning a Venom movie, and they're planning also a movie starring Black Cat and Silver Sable, which will be coming out pretty soon, actually, within the next couple of years. And I'm not sure how this exactly makes sense. Like, it seems like they're planning to do a Spider-Man cinematic universe without Spider-Man. So I don't know what exactly their thinking is there. But I mean, they're serious about it. They've already cast Venom. They've cast the actor Tom Hardy, who was a very well-respected actor. So I mean, you know, they're planning to throw some talent into this movie. And Tom Hardy is playing Venom, the same role that was previously played on the big screen by Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3. How does that happen? How is the same character played by Topher Grace in one movie and Tom Hardy in another? I mean, how do you go from, oh man, my dad's never going to let me borrow the Vista Cruiser tonight, to, oh, you think that darkness is your ally? You were only adopted in the dark. I was born in it. There's a big difference there. But anyway, I digress. I was thinking a lot about how this made any sense. I mean, are they going to, like, not have Spider-Man appear, but have references to Spider-Man? I mean, it still means that there is a different version of Spider-Man in their universe that you're just not going to see him on screen. Do they want to do that? Do they want to have a different version of Spider-Man there? And does their deal with Marvel allow them to even have Peter Parker referenced in a non-MCU movie? Then I got to thinking a little bit more. I was wondering, maybe there is some kind of secret master plan at work at Sony. Alright. There is a character in Marvel Comics named Miles Morales, who is also known as Spider-Man. He's just the Spider-Man of an alternate dimension. In the main Marvel universe, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. In an alternate universe, Miles Morales is Spider-Man. And he has quite a following now. He's a very popular character. And I know that these fans have been clamoring to see Miles Morales in a movie on the big screen. And the problem with that is that the Miles Morales fans, as dedicated as they are, and as many of them as there are only going to make up a very small percentage of the actual movie audience. Because the majority of the movie audience are non-comic book readers. They go to the movies and they watch TV, and they'll know the superheroes from those media, but have not delved into the comics very much. So the majority of the movie-going audience knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because that's throughout pop culture. And they're going to be expecting Peter Parker in a Spider-Man movie. So if you do a Spider-Man movie, but have Miles Morales as the lead, as the Spider-Man in your movie, this is going to confuse and just turn off a lot of your regular moviegoers. But if you had a way to introduce your audience to a different version of Spider-Man, to a Miles Morales Spider-Man, through another character's movie, like give him a small part in, say, a Venom movie, and then build up to a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, then you might be able to get the audience on your side. Build them up, get the audience familiar with him. That could work, and that would mean that the Sony movies that are the Venom movie and the Black Cat Silver Sable movie will be in an alternate universe with Miles Morales as Spider-Man. And that could run at the same time as they're doing Peter Parker Spider-Man movies with Marvel, in conjunction with Marvel. And, since they're both Spider-Man, but, they're very different, they're very visually different. Miles Morales has this black and red costume, so, people aren't going to confuse them. They'll know they're two very different characters. But, if you build them up slowly, they may accept both as Spider-Man, and you may be able to have, just these two versions of Spider-Man out there at the same time, and have audiences accept it. So I'm wondering if that is Sony's master plan. I wonder that at the same time as it occurs to me I may be giving them too much credit. But if that is what they're thinking, I say go for it. I'd love to see it. That would be great. I would fully embrace having a Spider-Man-centric movie universe centering on Miles Morales, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe including Peter Parker as Spider-Man. That totally works for me. And we'll have to see if that is in fact their plan, or if they're just planning to have a Venom movie where Venom has no ties to Spider-Man, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But I'm looking forward to, seeing if that is the case. All right, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, and that's a wrap.